What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and following up on my video on D Savage, I got a lot of good feedback on that video, so I thought I'd do the same general video, this time on UnoTheActivist, and talk about where he is at in his career. And I feel like you guys like when I talk about the smaller SoundCloud artists, like D Savage, UnoTheActivist, Thouxanbanfauni, etc, so if you guys want me to cover people or topics in particular, please drop them in the comments of this video, and if they get a lot of likes, I'll try to get around to them, but let's get to UnoTheActivist.
That a sound that you hear before I shoot. No mask, we busting out the roof. For that bag, we on your mama head too. Hard of a sin, pop a perky up and rich. Think that I'm playing when it's up, you know we spray. Fuck on your being right before your visitation. The other war, you gotta know your limitations.
And I think what's most interesting for Uno right now is two of his recent singles, Cant Go and Night Mode, which I think are some of his most well-written songs in a minute. I think the slight dance hallish vibe to both of these tracks is a refreshing direction for Uno's sound. They're both really catchy and they definitely have a pop appeal to them. You guys already know I've been a fan of Uno's for years, and he's constantly put out good music, but in terms of pop appeal and hit potential, these songs are some of his best efforts yet. If you're unaware, Uno has been signed to Republic Records for a minute, and in my opinion, Republic has made some questionable decisions over the course of the last couple years. Uno's career was on such an upwards trajectory after LSD, and he legitimately gained a lot of traction with that project, but since then, there's been a noticeable drop off, with his biggest songs on Spotify that are his own still being from that 2017 project by a long shot, with them having roughly double the amount of plays than anything from his 2018 releases and after. And looking at his monthly Spotify listeners, his numbers have been hurting, with them dropping from around 800k in June of 2019 all the way down to roughly 430k towards late last year and early this year. And this is likely due to the decisions of his team to focus on SoundCloud only projects, dropping Dedication 1, 2, and even randomly a Swag Hollywood collab mixtape. Although these projects definitely had strong songs, in my opinion, them deciding to cool off commercial releases in favor for SoundCloud only projects was a questionable decision, and one that evidently resulted in Uno losing a lot of traction on streaming services and the more mainstream platforms. However, the good news is, with the release of Cant Go, I think we've seen Republic go in a better direction, and it's a start of him actually receiving that quote-unquote label push. It's interesting, never before has Uno had such a cosign like Ty Dolla $ign, or placements with huge playlists like New Music Friday and Most Necessary, which have millions and millions of listeners, but this was his first song that got that push, and as you can see from the increase in his monthly Spotify listeners right here when it dropped, the push and promotion of the song in tandem with the Ty Dolla cosign exploded his listeners, going from roughly 400k to nearly 800k, and there's a reason why it's number one on his Spotify right now. And to make this point a little bit more clear, compare Cant Go's performance to the performance of another recent single of his, Slimey Guy. Whereas Cant Go got the push and promotion from the playlists and the Ty Dolla $ign cosign, Slimey Guy got zero of the same push, and the differences in the plays speak for themselves. And I think that right there shows that the problem really for Uno hasn't been down to Uno's music, it really has been down to the handling of the release and the promotion of the music by the label, and the label up until this point just hasn't been putting a lot of money into Uno for him to actually pop off. And with Night Mode, his most recent single, which has an amazing video you guys need to check out, unfortunately it hasn't really gotten any of the same push as Cant Go So Far either, with it only being featured in one semi-popping Spotify playlist so far, which has 500k listeners compared to the millions of listeners that the Cant Go playlist had. And the whole release and promotion of his last few singles just make me question a few things. Firstly, the decision to skip over the video for Cant Go and just go straight to releasing more singles is a bizarre one. The single clearly had potential, as you can tell from the increases in the listeners as a result from the playlisting and the Ty Dolla cosign, but instead of working that record more, getting a video for it and putting more money into it, they move on to the next singles and don't even release a video for it. I don't know, that's just a bit of a weird decision. Secondly, if they knew Night Mode was going to be the single that they were going to push and try to turn into a hit, hence why they did the high budget music video for it, why didn't they put more money into the bigger playlisting like they did with Cant Go? As we've established with Cant Go, the bigger playlisting worked and helped push up the numbers for that song, so why haven't we seen the same for Night Mode if they did a video for that? I don't know, another bit of a weird decision from the label side. Not to be too negative though, the good news from all of this is it seems that the label does care about promoting and putting money into Uno to a certain extent. They're doing some form of playlisting, they're doing videos for him, they're getting in features like Ty Dolla $ign, and these are all good signs. But for me, I just want to see it taken up a notch. Uno definitely has the potential to make hits and blow up, but I feel like this video circles back to that point that I've made about him in other videos. Uno up until this point just hasn't had the backing and the support network around his music to push his movement to that next level. I'm always keen to hear new music from Uno, and with these new singles here, I've been playing them a lot, so I'm keen to see what the label has in store for us with his next project and plans to do with Uno over the next year, but I guess we'll see. Also, if by chance Uno or someone at Uno's label is watching this, Perk Shuffle, don't think we forgot about that one. That one better be on the project. But that's all from me today, guys. Let me know how you're feeling about Uno's recent music in the comments below, and I want to give a quick shout out on my Instagram. Big shout outs goes to Pretty Boy Donnie, a big supporter of the channel, and I always appreciate him showing me love. If you guys haven't, at yadiiiigg, make sure to go support and follow your boy on the gram. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good YouTube stuff, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Check them out if you haven't.